Number I wouldn't know. It's too long ago to remember that.
How many kids would be in each group?
Oh, from 20 to 30.
Okay.
Yeah. And it already happened that we were on the road, we were half there when snowstorm came and the train couldn't go on and we had to go back to Berlin and had to take the whole group to our offices and keep them there. You know, it was really something. Not easy.
How were the children selected for those trips?
They had to pay for that.
Okay.
The parents paid for that. I don't know to whom. They were from all over Germany and Poland and Russia and everywhere. Yeah.
And when did they? They only lasted for a short time, correct?
I don't know how long they were in Hachschara, that I don't know.
Okay.
See, then we had little groups around Berlin, you know. We had a group, and I went there once a month for that is controlling the books. And this were kids also who learned everything.
What was the age of the children in the?
Under 17,
Okay.
from 12 to 17. Some were very sad to leave the parents and all, and some, but at least they got saved.
Right.
Now, and see, people in Hafshah, in Israel, the kids who came in like they were very happy. But anybody who already made money and then got in the kibbutz, they were very unhappy. Because stamps they had to ask for. You know, they owned nothing. They went out and worked, some of them, brought the money there, and had to ask for a stamp. So that was very hard for them. But the kids who came in like this grew up in the kibbutz.
Right.
They were happy.
Do you are you in touch, or have you had the opportunity on your trips to Israel?
Yeah, I will tell you one. It was very funny. The former boss there lived in Israel. When I went there, I called him up and said that I would like to visit one kibbutz to see it. And he came and took me to a kibbutz, and he said before we went there, the only thing he said, don't talk anything of political. I said, why would I talk politically here? I don't know anything. So it was so clean, you could have eaten from the floor and all. But they started saying, we don't get any help from the government, we have to do everything ourselves. And I thought to myself, that sounded very funny, but it was beautiful, clean, and they didn't know we are coming.
Good.
When we left, he said, this is the only communistic kibbutz they have, and they don't get any help. But I said, you had to take me there, couldn't you take me somewhere else? Oh, God. No, he said, I wanted you to see the independent one. But I said, oh, brother. That was something.
The independent communists.
Yeah,
They,
every communist.
they have no friends in the government.
No friends is right. Yeah, they were saying the government don't help and all, and I couldn't understand that.
Right.
And afterwards I said, how come? He said, this is a communist. I said, oh, brother, you had to take me there. But it was so nice and clean, you have to say that for them. Then later when I was visiting, one daughter of theirs got married and she was in a kibbutz, and we went there and we were staying there one night and we ate with them and everything was very nice. But like they say, the only kids are happy when they grow up in that. But after they made any money, it's no good.
Right.
Just to understand.
Socialism only goes so far.
So far, that's it. You see, I mean, after all, and then for anybody in Israel, give them a penny and they start singing and dancing. Happy, they're happy people, you know. You see, there are crazy people too. They killed this one president. So.
True.
Because they always said in Germany we had all kinds of, in Jewish, all robbers and all, but never a murder. But now they have murder.
When you were growing up,
Yeah.
and the war or the Nazis gained power.
Yeah.
How did your parents? You were how old then?
I was
30.
33, 9, 10, about 22, 23 years old.
Okay. What was your mother? What did she say of their rise to power, and when the anti-Semitism?
I will tell you, one time a brother of hers who lived in a different part in Berlin, and they heard that they will catch people there, and he came to the house and asked if he could stay overnight, and she said no, because you were scared of it. See, and that was a bad thing. You were scared of your own shadow. People were over there. Now, for instance, in the shoe factory, I told you were homemade, where everything handmade. And there were so many men who worked at home, who sewed it on. And one day the one man came and he said, I will tell you something. What happened to us? We have a little boy. And this little boy went to the police to tell that they talked about Hitler. And he said, this kid don't exist for us anymore, but we cannot throw him out. We have to keep him till this is all over, what will happen. See? You were scared of your own child. People couldn't trust their children, nothing. They were taught when anybody says anything against Hitler, you tell that, and they did. Yeah. They were marching, all right.
But that was well before the Nuremberg laws.
Sure. Now, and see, after all, he was not even German. He was born in Austria. So. But you could see the mentality of the people. When he would speak, see, we didn't have television, we had radio.
Radio.
We had to put on the radio that the people could hear it. It was pouring. And they would say, where he is staying, the sun is shining. And people would repeat that. Where he was saying the sun was shining, otherwise it was pouring. When you can get the people to say that, and you know, they are sheeps, you can do anything with them. And so many people who went in, and I think the Jews would have been the first one to join, because when he said, you will get a job, you will get vacation, and you know, so the people joined, but then you couldn't get out after you were in it, till they found out. See, they had one working here on ammunition, one working there. One didn't know from the other what they are doing, okay. Till it all were put together, and then it was too late. There was no way out.
When you were a young woman,
yeah,
and heard his speeches, weren't you afraid? I mean, was it obvious?
No, I will tell you, the thing was, at first, it was a horrible feeling when you would pass the bench where written, no Jews want no. Then you went by there, you didn't see it anymore. And for instance, I got a ticket one time for a concert. And I said I will go to the concert, and one young man who, you know, I don't know if they have this here, they started as a 16, 17-year-old till they worked themselves up. See, they learned from the bottom up. And I told, I don't know, it came up, I said, I go tonight, and he said, don't. He said, why shouldn't I? He said, something can happen there, and when they find out you are Jewish, you would be arrested. So I didn't go. Then one day they were saying all kinds of things. I called them in, I said, Hans, tell me something now. You are here now so many years, you lived with us, Jews and all. What would you do when somebody would tell you to kill somebody? I said, I would do it. Then you knew that there is no way of talking at all. He said, I would do it. And I'm told I would do it. They could, I don't know what it was, but terrible, just plain terrible. Okay.
What was the first instance of anti-Semitism you can remember?
Personally,
Yeah.
personally, only thing, like I said, the benches in the park and all that. But I had no other one. And then, as I told you, when the two were put over the border at night to Poland, and I was with his wife, and he was scared of the toy.
The gun.
Yeah, toy gun. That's cool. So and then, when, the minute I came here, I wrote, and I still have the letter. I couldn't read it, but somebody read it for me in Polish. I wrote if they are still alive and if I could do something. And the mayor of the town there, from the little Lubachev or whatever the name was, told that all the Jews there were killed. That was it. Ah. It was not to believe. The whole thing was like a dream, a bad dream, and you think you will awake tomorrow. It's all different. Because everyone was saying he couldn't be long. How can Germany exist without lawyers, without Jewish doctors and all? They got on very nicely without the Jewish doctors, without the lawyers. So it was sad, very, very sad. And people, I don't know. And you read now in many countries, and here too, there are young kids who do things on the birthday or that they think about a wonderful thing.
What did your mother do?
She had a store first, and one day she came home and she said, "I don't know what happened. All my friends were there today and bought a piece of fur." I said, "I don't understand this. How come?" I said, "I don't know." Next morning, when we went up, they were on the radio. The money, you couldn't buy a bread for it. So they changed the money, and people must have known that. That were friends. They were not strangers, they were friends. Jewish and non-Jewish, both. And then, I don't know, later years, it was very, very hard. And she was so good, you know, when the hard times were, she would cook soup and would say, "Take it to Mrs. Miller," just to say a name. And I had to schlep it there and all that. But that she wasn't saved, I couldn't understand, you know. So Folkman said, because she was so good, you were saved. Who knows? And then I told you I was engaged. And he was, later years I found out, he was laying on a big bunch where people were killed, and one soldier said, "This one is still moving." So they took him out, and he was 2 years in Cham in Bavaria in a hospital. And then he wrote to me after he came out, and my uncle wrote a lovely letter and said that he should come to America and he will help him, that he can start a new life. Though he wrote he is too sick to start a new life, he's not interested. So at that time you couldn't buy anything, a watch, or here, even in America, where was the war years. So my uncle, at that time I didn't earn any money, but my uncle gave me the money, and he would make food packages and put, and then he gave me, at that time was modern, I don't know if you would know that, a watch with a little bow. You would wear it on here. And when he wrote, he don't even have a watch, and he cannot buy any, so I took this and put it in the package. So then he wrote, he got the package, but the watch wasn't in, somebody stole it. And he said, "That showed me how much my love meant to you." That you said, that's real ugly. And I showed the letters to a friend, and she said, "I wouldn't write anymore, I sent packages." I said, "That is not him. He was a wonderful person, and he's sick, that's all but true." And I went on with the sending all. Then when this friend, when I went to Israel and I stopped over, I found out he was married. He married a Gentile in the hospital. See, and because being that ugly, he thought I would stop, see, but I didn't.
Right.
Oh, God. And then he came over and rather phone and invited me to come for coffee to their house. So I said to my friend, you come with me. She said, you go by your own. So he came and I was very nervous. I thought, how will I react? But then I was already married myself.
Okay.
But didn't bother me at all. So we went there and they showed me pictures. They were in Israel for their honeymoon. I never saw so many churches. I said, you cannot be Jewish with all the churches.
Right.
So then I found out she wasn't Jewish. And you know that he died, and we still correspond.
Really?
Honest. Yeah. She writes for every holiday and every, yeah. And then when he passed away, she sent me the picture of the grave. I needed that for like another help.
Yeah.
So she wrote in the letter that when he married her, he told her that the one he really loved was me. A gentle person wrote that, a Jewish person never would have said that.
Yeah.
I threw the letter out. I didn't care. Yeah. That's all experience in a lifetime. It's not good. It's not good.
It's not uncommon for survivors to feel a sense of guilt.
Yeah, a sense of guilt in this way that you feel, why were you saved and not the other? Now, I think this way, I'm very, I don't know how you could say that, I couldn't have get through a concentration camp at all. And I would see something crawling around there, I would be dead already. You know what I mean? But I guess the others made it, I don't know how. Some of them, but most of them.
No.
It's starved, you know. Terrible. But this is, you wouldn't have thought in that short a time it would be now Austria. But at least people are now alert.
And speaking up against him.
That's it. See, before nobody talked, nobody. I don't know.
Right.
Now see, then what they say here about the Pope, that he didn't do anything, and the Catholics, they did very much. The Pope saved many people. The nuns saved many people, but it couldn't be publicized, and they would end up in concentration camp too, you know. So, but they did help people. So when I came here and people were saying they didn't do anything, it's very wrong. They did. It did help. But it had to be very quiet, because anything would have come out, they end up so. It didn't take much to send somebody to concentration camps. They didn't care. I told you when the records were playing, I said, now why would you want to listen to all this stuff? He said that there couldn't be messages on there.
So they let you out with all the records, and you.
Yeah.
Before the war,
Yeah.
I read how Germany was a very progressive society. The Jews were certainly prominent.
Oh yes, very much.
And
as in any field.
In every field.
In any field. We had stores like Lazarus here, Wertheim and Tietz. There are still, the names are there, but nobody of the families, they're all gone. But yeah.
And you were a young woman in her 20s.
Yeah.
What was life like? What was it like?
Now I will tell you, I said, now Hitler got me, because the minute he didn't allow that you go to a movie anymore.
Then you were.
Then I said, now he got me. So before it didn't bother me. They said,
well, but even before he came to power.
Yeah.
I mean, before the Nazi Party and his
Yeah.
rise to the
No,
chancellor.
but don't forget there were many other things. There was 1918, the war, then
Right.
came the putsch, the communists. We had no happiness in growing up. There was always something bad. See, I know we would go, say, to a meeting or something, and my mother would sit there and make a face like this. She said, smile. I said, there's nothing to smile about. See what I mean? She was raised very different. Now I do understand many things which I didn't understand as a child. She was sick and the doctor came, the doctor left, And I came in the room and she was singing. I said, how can you sing? You're so sick. She said, no, that don't change it. See, so at the time I said, it's crazy. But now I do understand, because people say, you don't cry. I said, no, crying don't help. You may as well smile. It don't help. I found out. That's it. It's not easy. It's not easy. They say a person can have more than a little horse can do, hold. It really is. But you go, some people, but you go through now. And in between here I had bad experience too. Because when my husband passed away and all, family, I had no any family here myself. I all were his family, and they all were very lovely and all. But when the money went, they went too. You know? So, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just...
What did your husband do?
He was an optometrist. Yeah. I cannot think of the name. I don't remember what was the name. They were on Main Street, near downtown.
How did you meet?
That was very funny too. I will tell you, my very good friend, Eleanor Jenkin, were playing cards with my future sister-in-law.
Okay.
And she was saying, my future sister-in-law said, my husband has a lovely brother, and I would like that he meets somebody. So Eleanor spoke up and said, I have a very nice girl, and why don't we arrange this? Okay. So he came and he took me out, and we went out several times. And then after a very short time he asked me to marry him. I said, I will tell you something. I'm more truthful than anybody should be. I don't know if I care for you or not. Eleanor is going to Boston to see her children, and I will go with her. If I miss you, I will call you. If I don't, that's it. And this is how it was. I went and came back and called her and said, yes, I think I do miss you.
Okay.
We got married. And Eleanor's husband gave me away.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I had no family.
Jack.
Yeah. But we were only married 10.5 years as well. We were shopping in the mall and came home, and at 7 o'clock he said, you know, I like to go to bed. I said, at 7 o'clock? Why? He said, I don't know, I feel funny. I said, how do you mean funny? He said, I cannot explain it. So I called my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. He was a podiatrist, my brother-in-law. And I called the doctor, Dr. Kenter, I think, at the time. And they came both, and Kenter examined him. And he said, I cannot tell if you had a heart attack or not, but tomorrow morning, before you go to work, come to the office, and I will take this test. After he said that, he said to me, would you mind going with me to the bathroom? I said, no. I went with him to the bathroom, closed the door, and we heard a noise, and that was it. And the doctor stood there and he said, I cannot believe it. I cannot. It's not to laugh. I cannot believe it. And my brother-in-law gave him mouth to mouth, and it didn't mean a thing. Over. And the dog, for a whole year, at 6 o'clock on the kitchen door, he would stay. I don't know, how did he know 6 o'clock? I like that somebody explains this to me. At 6 o'clock, he would stay on the door waiting for him. And I tried to get him away. You couldn't get him away. For a whole year. It was sad to see that. And I said he cried. And I was sitting there. See, I didn't show anybody else, but when I was by myself and cried, he would sit and put his little head on there, and you could see he had tears in his eyes too. And then when we were sitting shivered, a doctor, what was his name? He died not long ago. He had a round face like Bill. And he came there and he sat there, and the dog would sit down right across from him and stare at him. And I didn't want to call him to make him say the doctor is looking at you. But, so after he left, Dr. Pala, did you know him?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. After he left, I said to my sister-in-law, Beth, I said, why did he sit there and stare at him? But I don't understand. She said it was a round face. And so he thought maybe that, no, he was really. And then after it happened, I had a girl for 40 years, colored girl, you're a lovely lady. She was more a friend than anything else. And I called her and she came to pick up Snowball because people would come in and out. Right. So she took him and she said she never in her life heard and never would like to hear again. He was not barking, he was yowling as when he knew what happened. I don't know how this is funny. No, I stayed there 10 years by myself, and people would call up and say, my God, you never had so many parties and you have now all the lights on. I said, I'm scared of the lights on. I said, I have no parties. And then they came to me and said, when you sell, don't sell for color. I said, I will tell you something. I won't be the first one in the street, but anybody else sells before me, then I will too. And this happened, so I did sell them to color. But I stayed there 10 years.
And you lived where?
On Shaft Drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we lived on Roseview.
Oh, I know, yeah, in Bergen. Now, when we moved there, we were looking, at first for fun to look at houses, but then I got so sick and tired of them, they all looked alike then. And they said, I wanted something because I didn't drive. See, I was in a bad accident with my uncle. And I swore at the time, when he get all right, I never would drive again. And thank God he got all right, but I didn't drive anymore. So we had to be on the bus line. So he said, after he took us from one end to another, and he said, here is 3 new houses. And if you want to see them, but there is no bus line yet, but in 2 years there will be a bus line. So we said, we are sick and tired of looking at everything, okay, we will go. So we went, there were 3 houses, we looked at them, and we liked the middle house. And I called Eleanor and her husband, and I called my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and they both came out, said, which one do you like? And they all choose the middle one. So we called him up, what was his name? His wife took her life on the end. They moved away from Columbus. Yeah. They lived on Shaft too. But anyhow, then at 11 o'clock at night, they called us, we got the house. And that was it. There were no grass or anything yet. We had to do all that. Right. And at the time, my husband wanted to put tiny trees. I said, no, we are too old for that. Let's put big ones.
And there's still no buses.
No.
Still no buses.
No buses.
No, still no buses.
And this is now 30 years
30 years ago, still no buses. No.
No, because they said that people didn't want to sign up for it. Each one had 2 and 3 cars. Mm. And then it changed so from white to color. And now it's more Jewish there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Berwick Civic Association is...
no, we didn't have it when we were living there.
No, when we lived there neither. Mm. We were the first house on Roseview.
Uh-huh.
And then and my parents lived there until my youngest sister was in high school, and they moved to Bexley.
What did you say your name was?
Zachs.
F-O-X?
Z-A-C-K-S.
Oh.
My grandfather was Abe and Ann. My grandparents, Abe and Ann Zachs.
Wait a minute now, I know a family, but did your mother marry again? No, that's not the family, but I'm talking about somebody else now. Zachs who married this, what's her name? Mm-hmm. She was very well off when she married a very well off man. But maybe they spelled the name differently.
And my mother's parents were Eve and Lou Golden. Eva Golden.
Did she live on the end at the...
She lived on Roseview also.
Was she?
They lived on Cassingham across from the school.
Yeah.
for years, but then when my parents built, my grandfather built the house, and then
Yeah.
he liked it so much, they moved down the street. They built another house,
Oh.
so they lived only 4 doors away.
Now, here lives now a lady by the name of, wait a minute, Rosa Gerstein. Her husband was I think a dentist. She lived 2 streets from us. We visit there sometimes with the dogs. She had a dog and I had a dog.
Well, my great aunt Florence Melton used to live.
Now, that's
here.
the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's Aunt Florence. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
right. She married Mr. Melton after
Yeah.
Aaron passed away.
But she does plenty good.
She does good.
Yeah.
She does.
And so did he before. Yeah, she's a nice lady. I was in her house. Through being on the board at the time, I'm not on any boards anymore or anything. I cannot go to meetings, I cannot sit through them. I haven't got the sitting. It's enough. Let somebody else do it now.
Right.
We've worked hard enough. But they're fun. They're nice.
Well,
I
the
met-
Council of Jewish Women, you were very active.
Yes, yes. And then I was life member of Hadassah and Mrs. Wexner Heritage, and many life members there. But my situation changed very much. Nothing I can do about it. I had 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and all. It was very hard to get adjusted, but I got adjusted. That's it. How they say when you hang long enough.
That's right.
What can you do? That's life.
Well, thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. Oh, there's something.
Yeah, I gotta
stepping on.
pick all this stuff
Yeah.
up and back it all up.
Okay, and my heat.
Yeah, I'll put your heat back on.
Yes,
I think I got,
heat.
have to
On
get
the
all the rest
telephone?
of the telephones.
Yeah, fine. Can I offer you a cold drink?
Yes, thank you.
What do you like?
Diet anything. Do you have any-
Diet 7-Up.
Do you have any Diet 7-Up? That'd be
Yeah,
great. Thank
sure.
you.
I don't like the other one, not because it's diet, the other is too sweet.
Oh,
That's the reason I don't
why
like it.
doesn't this work?
Huh?
This light doesn't do good.
Yeah, this is always on.
Yeah, but what?
Very little. Let me hear. See now the telephone. Where's my telephone now?
It's in the kitchen.
Oh. Yeah, I'm coming for Christmas. Oh. Hello. Yeah.